What's up guys, my name is Michael. Today I want to talk about how durable my iPhone 11 Pro has been after about 3 months of solid usage. So I've been using this phone since it came out brand new, and I usually don't use a case on it. If I ever do use a case, it's an extremely thin one, such as this case from Totally here. It's green, so it matches the iPhone 11 Pro. You can almost see through it. It's that thin, so this thing wouldn't provide much protection anyways. I usually don't rock a case though on my phone. I'm usually naked here, and in this video I just want to tell you how my iPhone has generally held up in those 90 days. Let's go ahead and get started. First I want to talk about the screen. Apple screens are usually famous for never cracking or being very hard to crack when you drop them, but they can scratch extremely easily. This is why some of the phones, such as the Samsung phones, the newer Samsung Galaxy Note phones, for example, they may have extremely durable screens, and when you put an iPhone next to a Samsung phone, the Samsung phone is always gonna look a lot less scratched. And that's because Apple puts apparently more emphasis on having their screens scratch less instead of actually cracking when you drop them. So I noticed a few scratches up here on the top right side of the notch, but really nothing that impedes its performance. And then when the screen is turned on, you can't even see any of the scratches anyway. So scratches on the screen for me haven't been that big of an issue, but it only has been 3 months. It's still 2019. So I'd say in another 3 months, I will have a lot more scratches built up on the screen. I have been having a small issue on the screen also with the oleophobic coating. If you don't know, the oleophobic coating is what Apple puts on in the factory as the final step on the screen preparation process, and it's supposed to keep away fingerprints. I actually found that the oleophobic coating, when I peeled off the plastic when I first got this phone, it felt like it was kind of stuck to the phone, and I think I actually might have peeled off some of that coating. I think it might have been freshly sprayed on from the factory, because I've never felt that much resistance when I peeled off the plastic from the factory on my screen. So the screen kind of felt sticky the next week after I did that, but it has returned to a smooth feeling screen as an iPhone usually does. And after I did that though, the screen got more fingerprints, more than previous iPhones of mine would have. I will probably make another video within the next 3 months talking about this issue and how it has held up against fingerprints. So now jumping to the back of the phone, God, this is such a beautiful phone every time I look at it on the back, which is, not that frequently, but when I do look at it and it's nice and clean, it does look really nice. That 3-camera array definitely takes a little while to get used to. This camera setup is also susceptible to scratches, so I am going to talk about that in just a little bit. I haven't had any scratches on the the matte glass finish on the back of the phone. There may be scratches, but since it is coated in a matte finish, it may be just so hard for me to see, so I can't talk about anything on the back. For me, the back of the iPhone looks pristine like I just got it. In terms of the stainless steel, I'm sure if I had the silver color iPhone 11 Pro, I would have a lot more scratches. But since this is the midnight green color and the stainless steel on the side of the iPhone almost looks black, this is coated in a very durable extra coating process that the silver iPhone 11 Pro doesn't get, just to give it that color. So when you get the darker color iPhones, you actually get more scratch resistance on the stainless steel. So that might have been something that you didn't know before. I will probably never get a stainless steel raw silver iPhone again, simply for that reason. I have a stainless steel Apple Watch Series 5 in silver. Probably one of the biggest mistakes I've made recently, because that thing is very heavily scratched. So I'm happy I went with the midnight green for my iPhone 11 Pro, simply for the fact that scratches are not easily seen. So like I said before, the camera module on the iPhone 11 Pro is very susceptible to scratches. Surprisingly, I haven't seen any scratches on my iPhone 11 Pro's camera. Apple stopped saying that their lenses were coated in sapphire, I think this year. I think all the way up to last year with the iPhone XS, they were saying that their lenses were coated in sapphire, and that has actually been proven by many sources online that the lenses were actually not sapphire. They were still coming back the same hardness as glass. So Apple was kind of lying to us those years before when they said that the camera was sapphire, but this year they're finally saying that the camera lens is just made of a strengthened glass, not sapphire. So I guess they're being a little bit more honest there, but whatever process they use on their lenses, if it's the darkening process that makes you not see the lens inside, or if it's an extra hardening process they do on the outside, whatever it is fantastic, because these lenses never scratch, and I am always slamming my phone down on surfaces a lot harder than that and a lot rougher than that. I am definitely surprised with how well the camera has held up over time, especially with my usage. So another issue in terms of durability that I've been having with the iPhone 11 Pro and pretty much every iPhone since the iPhone 10 came out is with this earpiece speaker. So this earpiece speaker collects so much dust, and the motor inside the speaker housing needs to be able to move air outside of the phone in order to produce sound. And if enough dust gets inside that speaker housing, it is not going to sound as good. I once got to a point where I could barely hear anything out of this top speaker. I thought the speaker inside was actually broken for a second. I thought water might have gotten inside. So I went to the Apple Store, and the genius at the Apple Store told me that there was just so much debris and dust inside the top housing. And all I had to do was just get a regular brush, like a toothbrush, go downward to upward and get the dust out. So that's exactly what I'm going to do in this video. If any of you guys have dust in your speaker housing, just take a softer toothbrush and just brush downward to upward, and you can get all that dust out. Do not involve any liquids such as water or even isopropyl alcohol. Just do this on a dry brush and all the dust will come out, and the sound out of your speaker will be greatly improved. Even if you don't see any dust in there, there still might be some, so I would definitely recommend doing this to keep your earpiece speaker clean. So probably the last thing I should talk about in a durability video is probably the most important part of the phone, which is the battery. The durability of the battery of a phone is very important because that pretty much dictates how long your phone is going to last in the long run. When it comes to iPhones though, these batteries are fantastic. So I've been using this phone and pretty much draining it down to around 40 or 30% every single day for a solid 90 days. And after all that usage, if I jump into battery and battery health, I am at 99%. That is very surprising, and that is very good for a battery usage after 3 months. I bet if I had a Samsung phone, my battery health would be down to 96 or 95%. But to have only a 1% drop after 3 months of solid usage where I drained it to almost dead or 30% away from dead every single day, in my opinion, that is very good. So these iPhone 11 Pro models have very good batteries, very long-lasting batteries, and that's actually one of the main improvements that they made this year for the iPhone 11 model compared to the iPhone 10s. So maybe they made that battery bigger. That is also helping to contribute to the better battery health. So that pretty much wraps it up. That is all I want to say in terms of durability with my iPhone. So if I want to clarify my usage a little bit more, I don't use a case at all. When I charge it at night, it's always sitting on a wireless charger, so it's not sitting directly on anything rough. When I put it in my car, when I plug it into CarPlay, I put it right in the center console. My center console is made of a harder plastic material, so there's really nothing in there that could scratch the iPhone. And in terms of when I carry it on me, I keep it in my jeans pocket. So as long as you take care of your iPhone to a degree, it's not going to scratch or scrape or crack in any significant way, as you've been able to see in this video. I'm very happy with the durability of this iPhone 11 Pro, and even if something does go wrong, I am glad that I got Apple Care, since this thing costs almost $1,600 here in Canada. So I'm glad I invested that $250 when I bought it, just in case something does happen to it, especially since I don't use a case. I am glad that I do have that warranty available to me. So you guys can tell me in the comments below what phone you have, what measures you take to protect your phone, and whether or not you have Apple Care on your iPhone. I really want to hear what you guys have, so tell me in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Drop a like on this video. My name is Michael, and I'll see you in the next one.